Patrick just did a 27-hour stream, and 2 hours later, I message him and I say, hey, I know you're probably a little exhausted, but you want to come on WATP tomorrow? And the initial answer was, well, obviously not. But then, look at this. He rebounded. He's back. He's on here. He said he's pretty much lost his voice, but he's ready to talk to us today.
Yeah,
I
won't be
appreciate
yelling.
that.
I'll keep it low.
That's fine. That's fine. We're not here to yell at each other. That's why I'm doing the Joey C thing tomorrow.
I don't know. Kevin Brennan just said I can't work with other people, so beware.
Oh, okay. Well, he knows best. Speaking of Kevin Brennan, I popped on to see what he was doing today because you were on there. We're going to get into this. I want to talk about you quitting the show, but he has Ski Mask and Joey C as the guests on his show today. So it's not going in the right direction for him. But I do want to thank you, Patrick, for pointing out to Kevin that when I was playing acoustic guitars with John, I was goofing on John's song, Fatty Patty.
I mean, clearly.
Yeah, it wasn't because I was just like, hey, let's rock that cool tune you were doing.
You didn't text your bandmates immediately being like, hey, you know that new sound we've been waiting for?
I mean, that must have hurt your feelings, though, a little bit that he came with such a great song off the cuff like that.
You said it before that it's something like a child could write, but I mean, do you think I haven't heard Fatty Patty before or Fatrick or?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been rotund my entire existence. Children came up with that.
John is very clever, and you just have to deal with it. You're living in,
yeah,
you're all living in his world.
I'm glad I've moved off his shit list.
Yeah, I guess you have, right? You don't have a day of the week dedicated to you like me and Shuli both do.
Nope.
The days of the week, so it's like Shuli, Carl, and Trump are the three people he's dedicated an entire day of the week just to go after. So I'm in good company.
It's interesting to me because I knew nothing about Stuttering John, so I'm just literally like learning all about this as it happens. So I'm just fascinated by it, and the fact that he's this guy who was on Howard Stern. Again, I don't know anything about him, but he worked for Leno. I had no idea, and now he's like mad at me. He thinks about me. That's crazy to me.
Well, before we move on, I want to play you the new version of the Fatty Patty song because he recently updated it.
This is an ambush, Carl.
The one that I know and love is Fatty Patty.
Yeah, of course.
Fatty Patty. Mm-hmm. How did you get so fat? I think it's how it goes. Something like that. Chris, you want to correct me? Am I off on that?
No.
All right. So
there
this
was
is
one that was like, where do you go? It's like, what? Where do you go? How did you get so fat? It's like, yeah, you know the answer to one of those. Eating.
Why do you eat so much? I think is one of the lyrics.
Yeah, why do you eat so fucking much?
You had food. You're fat, John. You get it.
Yeah, you get it. All right. So here's the new version, and watch out. I this might hurt your feelings, so I apologize in advance. John's like, this song sounds well produced and interesting. Right, turn it off.
Fatty, Patty, Fatty. Why are you such a fat fuck? Thank you.
I like that if you watch his brow and his intention and his face, it's like a character actor almost. He's like, he thinks like this might be clipped and this might go somewhere. He's like, fat. You know what I mean? Really?
Where the world? You're right. It's a little over the top.
His brow. He's like really like he's becoming the song. I like that.
Why would he buy a green screen but not a microphone?
That's a good question. Well,
it was one or the other.
The answer to that, Alex Stein shipped him a microphone. Alex Stein shipped him a microphone, and he couldn't figure out how to plug it in. I think is what happened.
Well, I'll attest to this because I've been having problems with MLC. The more complicated your setup is, at some point you do have real simple issues.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
I've been going through some of that myself.
You are still echoing a little bit on this show, so I understand. It happens.
I don't even understand why.
All right, so let me address this real quick, Patrick Melton, because you and I went back and forth a little bit over social media. I want to bury the hatchet if we can, or not, whatever happens.
Did we go back and forth on social media?
Well, I don't know. I saw you saying that I was accusing you of doing things that you didn't do when it comes to Steel Toe.
Yeah.
So with Steel Toe, I was saying that you were trying to get him in trouble with the DA of Minnesota for running an illegal lottery.
A little bit, sure.
A little, okay. That's what I was talking about. Because I heard that you were informing people who were. Go ahead.
arrested. You said something about like he's trying to get him arrested. I didn't think anyone was going to go arrest Aaron. That's not what I thought.
Okay. But so you were trying to get authorities involved, though, which on this show, we're down on authoritarianism. We're not a big fan of authorities.
Yeah, and I'm on board with you, especially with copyright. But you even agree that like he's definitely not doing this lottery thing right, and also it's straight up illegal to take entries for anything online only in Minnesota, like straight up. So it's like you can find that out by Googling. So we're talking about like very basic stuff, and there's 2 employees at this organization.
I've been involved in sweepstakes before because of my old job, and yes, I do know there's a lot of rules about it, and you have to be able to get people a chance to win without purchasing anything. And
also, YouTube has very straightforward and easy to read guidelines, and they're not adhering to any of those. Even when it comes to like simple things like this has paid promotion in it, you have to check a box for every video that you upload. I mean, they're not doing things that could easily be fixed, like that. We're just I'm just trolling them about it.
Are you? I appreciate you trolling them about it. I have no problem with that. But when you start telling people to like, let the DA know about it, that's where it gets weird.
I will admit there is probably a couple shovels full of Schadenfreude in there because he's such a smug motherfucker when it comes. You know what I'm talking about.
All right, we are. So I feel like we're good now, right?
Gonna gloss over that. You're not gonna agree. He's a smug.
Well, I will tell you. I'll give you a peek into the future. We will be featuring Steel Toe on a very special WATP coming up this month.
It's your reputation. If you don't, then
so look forward to that, everybody. That is in the works right now.
Featuring Steel Toe, do you mean having him in April on for some softball interview?
No. That's not
like
what that's going to be at all.
He comes on, compliments you one time, and then you melt.
I've told Ray DeVito to his face he sucks so many times. Last time he came on my show.
Ray DeVito had Steel Toe on, Steel Toe was like, Ray, you're doing a great job. This is probably the best show. And then Ray was like, you're great too.
Well, it's similar to the strategy that Tukey has with Stuttering John. It's very easy to manipulate these types of people.
You know, I assumed you were either trolling. There was something. It was like because we hadn't talked about. I haven't tried to. I did tell people to report Steel Toe. You're right. There was something in me that was just like, if this guy and his dumb Woods girl had to go back and get a job at McDonald's, I would probably get a ticket to Minnesota to go through the drive-thru. I would probably take too much joy, not a rational amount of joy, in seeing him lose his livelihood, and I can agree that that's probably too far. So
yeah, but I'm just happy to hear that there was an end goal there, because that's my whole thing. It's like, what's the point? What's the objective? If your goal was to see them working in the McDonald's and take a photo or two, okay, well then now I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Explaining it.
I'm a simple photographer looking for a subject. Carl.
Right. Like everything you do should create content. There should be content associated with this. That was the part I didn't understand. I'm like, well, if they get fired, where's the content in that? Now I get it.
No, it's just that we haven't talked about that since April. I haven't told people to report him since April. And then you mentioned it like on recent shows. And I'm like, that's so old. Let it go. I'm not. Leave his channel alone.
I haven't done that in months. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
No, we're going to get back into it, though, because I think we are close to getting them canceled.
But I have a question for Fatty Patty. But what was it that started the thing with Steel Toe? Because I'm way late to it. It just seems like people pick on him, and that's that. That's just from my perspective, though.
He wears his insecurity on his sleeve of his breast binder. You know what I mean? Like it's like everything you pick apart. Like he starts his show every day yelling at people in the chat and haters. It's insane. It's insane. So I think people see that. I mean, people are good. People can judge character better than you would think, and I think people can see that.
So basically, you're playing the knockout game, and you're seeing the frail old Asian guy, and you're like, oh yeah, this is the one for me. I want to win this knockout game.
I worked with Chad once. We follow each other on Twitter. I saw him tweet about it. I started watching this feud. I was on Steel Toe's side at first, and I was like, oh, he's like a radio guy trying to do the podcast thing. Okay. The banner. We all laughed about the radio aesthetic, you know, like radio guys would put a webcam in the DJ booth and be like, we did it. We're streaming. and like
Right.
that's kind of it. And we were making fun of Chad and how reactive Chad was and stuff, and Steel Toe was pounding his chest, and I was like, this is so funny. Chad's losing his mind. He was doing the walks where he was screaming about taking April away from him and all this stuff. And I was like, this is insane. Chad's a nut. And then I don't remember what happened where it turned. I guess Chad with the book with the Ashley LaRue, Steel Toe's ex-wife.
Yeah.
And Steel Toe all of a sudden just turned around and started like, it's too far. I can't have it anymore. And then it all just kind of weirdly shifted. And I watched Steel Toe become everything I'd seen him rail against for 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, and then the more people piled on because they all saw it, this guy just kept having to bat away a million swords. And then he can't make his wife come thing and all this stuff. It's like it keeps getting worse. And it's everything Anthony said, I said, Kevin said. You can't do a show with your partner. There's a dynamic there that with the audience, and the audience is trolling.
Hear that, Chris? You got to go.
The audience will pick you apart. They'll see the little chinks, and you can watch now. You can watch April take joy when the chat goes after Aaron, and Aaron take joy when the chat goes after April. And it's like, this is going to get nasty.
Well, maybe that's a good thing then. What you're describing sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's
how
gonna
long
be
it'll
great.
last. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We might circle back and go back to Steel Toe now. It's getting interesting again. They're starting to really.
So the real reason why I wanted to have you on, Patrick, and I asked you to come on months ago when I saw you on Misery
The
Loves
real
Company.
reason you wanted me to come on is to make Kevin Brennan lose his mind.
A little bit. Let's talk about what's going on with you and Kevin Brennan and Misery Loves Company, because Melton Mondays, you're going on every Monday, and this past Monday there were some hiccups, and I want to get into that. Get your reaction as it starts with.
It looks like they're both using a potato filter.
Yeah, who's who?
Look how close. The color scheme, the blurriness.
Yeah, same angle. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Hilarious. All right, so it starts off. There's this courtroom video that you posted with Butch Bradley.
Yeah.
I don't know how much background we need to give on this. If you want to give a little bit, it doesn't matter.
Not a big deal.
Basically, what happened was you posted this video where you were getting over on this guy that was fucking with you in court, and it's like over an hour long. So if you're invested in that, you might want to sit and watch it. But Kevin Brennan's whole thing was like, I watched 5 minutes of it and it sucks. So Melton's just like, okay, maybe it's not for you. It's fine. But you can't say that it sucks if you didn't watch it.
I mean, he spent
not a
longer
good
than the
take.
video complaining about the video.
Right. It's not a good take. And I've said this about in the past, Stuttering John, and a bunch of the guys who tried to go back after me, and they go, I've never heard a show. I'm like, well, then what are you going to say? You can't win this argument by saying you've never listened to me, you don't know what I sound like, you know what the show is. It's not a good take. Can't go very far with that.
It's going to be longer. 24 hours, you going live or me watching you and Butch Bradley in jail. I mean, that was fucking. I watched 5 minutes. I'm like, I'd rather watch Red Bar talking about.
Let it go now. You could have watched it all the time. You complain about it. Like, why?
Yeah.
What's going on, Kevin? Why are you mad about something you haven't even fucking watched? Like, cheer the fuck up. Cut me loose already. Fucking enough. You old fuck. You just bitch about everything. Enough. Enough.
Yep.
And this continues on throughout the episode because what you point out here, Patrick, and I have to give you a lot of credit for this, is the fact that this is getting very old now. It's very predictable. Kevin's going to come on. He's going to bitch about every single little fucking thing, even things he doesn't know anything about. And so the guests have not been good lately. The guests are getting worse and worse as this goes on. I think Patrick's feeling like, why am I doing this show? And no one else good is doing this show.
Yeah, but like, I just like, why you complaining about something you didn't even watch? You're like mad at me about it. You didn't even watch it. You complain about.
Oh, wait till he watches it.
He sent me the clip.
Yeah, but I just mean in general of everything. Like, what are you keeping me
That's
around
my
here for?
act.
You don't
That's
like
my
me.
shtick.
Let it go.
What am I
Try
supposed to sit
happiness.
here?
Opt for happiness, Kevin.
I should watch old clips like the Shit Network does. Hey, what did Stuttering John say today?
Hey,
Fucking
people like it.
hell. I just like, I don't want to be on here with all these fucking losers. Let me go. Let me out of here.
You can't go.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
It's all fucking Stevie Lou and Joey C, and now Joey C's wife can come. It's just like, why don't you just go to a fucking methadone clinic and just send people the link?
Now, here's the thing, Patrick. I was watching this when this was happening. I thought it was excellent. And it looks very much like you're joking. You're smiling. People are laughing. Tell me, can you gauge what your actual seriousness was, is what you're saying here?
Well, I'm 6 hours into broadcasting for the 24. That was part of this. So, but also, like, I just watched 5 or 6 days in a row of Kevin saying I'm a piece of shit in various ways.
Yeah.
Which, look, I mean, I'm not mad at Kevin. I don't take it seriously. Today he was singing my praises. It's like, Jesus Christ, you know?
Right.
So I know what it is. But Kevin admitted himself, and this was the whole pitch when he had me come on. Bob had just left, even though that was for one day. That's when that went down. And Chad was gone, and he was like, you know, I can't just keep Ray and Ski Mask and Ray and Ski Mask. And it turns out you can. And yeah, so now he's got Joey C and Joey C's wife and Elise and Tracy and
oh God, Tracy.
Anyone
we'll
else
get into
who
that.
wants to come on. Anyone. And I've also got Ski Mask getting drunk and making threats and burning my merch. And I don't know this guy. He's nice to me when he talks to me. And all these people are incensed about me, and it's based on the fact that I'm on MLC, and I don't care. You can have it. And you
made that pretty clear, but again, you looked like you were joking, and I don't know if you are joking or not.
You'd be lying if you said you didn't go on there and have a good time. It's a fun show.
It is a fun show.
So I don't mind it, but there's so much real. It's like how it got with Trump for a while, where people started going after Trump for every little thing. It was like, I mean, there's some real stuff to go after Trump for. Why are you? You know what I mean? Like, why go after all this little crazy stuff that isn't stuff?
So
and I think now he's like, it started coming apart with Shuley, and then he can never tell you like what Shuley did to him or whatever. It's about this phone number. Yeah, he did the same thing with the phone number. Like, if you apply logic to anything he says he's uber upset about, it crumbles, and then he just comes hack, and then it's just, you know, just all.
Yeah, and I saw Shuley say on his show, he goes, Kevin, send me a link. I'll come on anytime. So I was messaging with Shuley, and I'm like, have you gotten that link yet from Kevin? He's like, why would I get a link? I'm like, you challenged him about the show today. It's like, nah, that guy will never have me on. It's like, that's the conflict you want. Have Shuley on. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
Why are we having Ski Mask and Joey C on again?
I was realizing
no offense to those guys.
I was realizing that today. I don't know if it was a clip of yours I was watching where Tukey and the Potato were on Joey C's show. Was that a clip of yours?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
But they were playing sound effects and they were doing things, and I got to thinking about it, and I was like, oh, this is like, I mean, I know they're kind of like trolling him a little bit and pranking him, but they are also having some good-natured ribbing, as Kevin would say. It's kind of they're having fun. Like, these are serious men, I would assume, in their real life in some capacity, who are taking time out to do this for so much time. So it's bringing them some kind of joy. Yes. And I was like, oh, Kevin won't have the Potato on. Kevin won't have Tukey on yet. Those are the guys he actually should have on. It's almost like free producers. It was making Joe C show watchable with drops and jokes. And
so it's like, Cardiff on with Stuttering John was fantastic. Because he's playing along, they're having a conversation, but then he's also calling him out on his hypocrisy from time to time and putting John on the spot. So that makes it interesting. There's a reason, listen, this is the only time I'm going to say this. There's a reason why Cardiff is showing up on everyone's show. The guy adds something to your show.
And it's a delicate balance, to be sure.
Yes. And for some reason, Kevin has decided that he's above that. But is he?
So I think what we've had, you know, it's like the Big Bang. It's like this super chat explosion, from what I understand it, I wasn't around then, but it happened in December with Kevin Brennan, this entire super chat explosion. So then there was a level of like fans that got involved who were kind of always around, but like the Potato or like Tukey, and they have a level of talent. Like, they understand comedic timing, they understand jokes, they have video editing and photo editing and other skills that can contribute to bits and stuff online. And they get it. And so they have a little bit of success and go on these shows. And then you get the next tier of people coming in now, where it's like Joey C, who's like, I saw a green screen on Amazon.com. And it's like, it is a little more than, it's a tiny bit more than that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, let me play this clip, because this goes back a little ways. Have you ever seen Porcelain's doc, Almost Famous? It's the doc about Kevin Brennan. And there's a clip in here. Kevin Brennan, you know, a lot of people who are fans of WATP might not know this, but Kevin used to be connected. And this is a clip of him with Bill Burr as his guest on the show. Bill Burr, one of the top comics in the world, is as a guy who's being a guest on. Now we have Stevie Lou. No offense to Stevie Lou. It's a little bit of a drop off there, if you ask me. But listen to this back and forth, because Bill Burr recognized this even before we did, Patrick. I mean, he was on top of what the shtick is and why it's kind of lame.
Kevin, I love you. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know if you're playing a character or you've really slipped into another level of madness beyond what you had the last time I haven't seen you in years. And I got to tell you, I didn't miss you.
I just want to know why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? If you're
what? Oh my God! No, I'm not mad.
If you're selling out Madison Square Garden, why are you so mad? Why are you selling out the Prudential Center? Why are you so mad, Bill? Why?
So this is Kevin's hot take on this. Is he's saying, yeah, your whole shtick is that you're like this angry guy from Boston, and Bill Burr's thing is like, well, that's not what I do at all. You have no idea what I do. You've never watched my specials, obviously. You don't know why people think I'm funny, because Bill Burr is a very good joke writer. He's not just a character.
Right. He is also an angry guy from Boston.
Sure, and there's reason to be angry, but so this is Bill coming back at him.
Why are you so mad?
Oh yeah,
come at me, bro.
He says,
come at me.
You shouldn't be mad now that you're 666.
All your fans are like, he's just like me. He's mad like me. Yeah, he just made $150,000 clear today.
Jealousy.
So,
he's
not
to find yourself a
he's
new
not like you at all. You
jealousy.
fucking.
Yeah, all right. So now you see he's singing jealousy underneath this rant going on right now, and Stuttering John and Kevin Brennan and a lot of these guys bring up money a lot. A lot of talk about money and paying out money and making money, and people who make a lot of money never talk about money. That's just been my experience with life. And he's counting how much money Bill Burr is making. It's like, well, rather than worry about how much he's making selling out Madison Square Garden, work on your act.
Yeah.
And he's literally asking Shuley to show him his papers.
Right. Yes. He also he said the same thing to me. He challenged me to show our numbers on the back end or something like that. And it was funny because I brought that up on Who Are These Socials, and then we ended up making way more money than Kevin did that day on MLC. So,
morons in the audience, he's just like us, Bill Burr. He gets all mad about nothing.
Poor kid.
Nice.
So what are you mad about? What are you mad about?
I'm not mad. What is your problem?
No, but when you go on stage, like tonight?
Kevin, you listen to my podcast for a minute. You don't watch my act.
I don't. That's why I want to know. I don't watch anybody's act.
Well, then why, if you're not going to have the time,
what he's saying is,
to
Bill,
listen to it,
he's saying, tell us about show business.
What he's really saying is he doesn't like I'm selling all these tickets. He watches me for 2 seconds. All he does is yell, and then he screams at his wife while his child tries to sleep in the middle of it.
It's incredible. This is years ago.
What a summation.
It's the exact thing that Patrick Melton was complaining about on the show just this Monday. Like, what are you complaining about? What are you mad about? You watch this thing you're mad about.
But he also accused you of jealousy. He also accused you of being jealous about something. And I said, can both things be true? I do think there's probably a little bit of element of truth to that. Of course you wanted to be the first guy. Of course you did.
Oh, it was Stuttering John. No,
yeah,
dude, I was the first guy. That was my interview. I'm fine with it. I didn't pay the $3,000. That worked out great.
Right.
I couldn't be happier about that.
The truth is that interview was only good because of the guests who came on and had a, proximity to Stuttering John and knew all that stuff from the lore.
I love Bob Levy, but God, Bob and him were best buds all of a sudden. I'm like, what's going on? You guys have been shouting at each other for the last year and a half, and now he's on the show, and they're
Bob's done with confrontation. He wants to have a pool and just chill. Can we all get along? And by the way, I think the older you get, everybody kind of skews to that. It's like, what are we doing? We're all about to die.
Not Kevin Brennan for some reason. This guy's getting angrier and angrier.
Yeah, but I love Kevin Brennan. I see people in the chat and they're like face turn and stuff, and I know that's what's gonna get all the clicks and stuff. And I'll say it now. I'll probably go on MLC again Monday because that's gonna be great.
Okay.
And also because I was just thinking about it, and I gave my word, and I want to keep my word. I told Kevin I would do it for 3 months. And I think at least my word is worth. I'll say this: Kevin broke some deals of our terms of our agreement.
No way.
He started getting angry with me, and it's not even important what. I don't care. And all
right, I do have a few more clips that I want to play of you leaving the show and everything that went on. And I was messaging with you before the show, and I said, "Did you actually quit?" And at first, you're like, "Well, yeah, I did quit the show." But okay, you're saying you did tell me, like, I'll probably go back again. And I'll say this: I probably won't get an invitation, but I'd go back again. I want to talk to Kevin about his lies and about how he almost ruined my show with Stuttering John.
Well, the same way you would have a conversation with Chad again. It's like I don't get mad at Chad for doing Chad stuff anymore. Like I expect when Chad comes on, you probably expect when Chad does a stream with you, like if this might go great, it might go bad, and I don't care, but it'll be what it is. And I think that's how Kevin is. I don't even I watch him rant about me over and over and over again, and I just laugh because it's like tomorrow he'll be telling you you're great.
Oh, that was the funniest thing. I had Ray DeVito on this show, and Ray goes, "Carl, I can't watch Misery Loves Company because they just say what an asshole I am over and over again." I'm like, "Ray, I'm the last person you could say I can't relate to that. What are you talking about?" Yeah, it's not just you, Ray.
Every show, the resounding comments are, "Ray is so stupid. Ray is so stupid. Ray is so stupid." And he goes on and he calls them his fans and says they're awesome.
Let me get back to this clip because we're going to go transition over to Bill Burr on his podcast talking about this appearance, which was his last on Misery Loves Company.
Oh my basically, and then I'm supposed to waste time in my life trying to make your fucking brain correct? I'm not doing it.
That you guys got to listen to this podcast, by the way. You know what's funny? There was so much screaming and yelling on this, just done by one man, by the way. Kevin Brennan, just out of his fucking tree, screaming at me. You ever want to listen to somebody just scream at me? You know, and be mad that I'm selling tickets. This is the show. And Jesus Christ, Kevin Brennan was going off on me, but I got some good digs in on him. At one point, he was so fucking over the top screaming that me and Lenny were just sort of singing underneath him, like happy songs to try to take the edge off of what he was saying. But
by the full. All right, so that's what I wanted to play from that.
Do you think that that's why Brennan has the type of guests on that he does now, so that he can talk down to them? Because you can't say that to Tom Hanks.
Two reasons he has the guests he has on now. Yes, that one for sure. And secondly, those are his options at this point.
Well, this is what I told him. Like the more he has, and this Joey C and I made up, so I don't want any trouble from this. I know I'm going to get 9 emails after the show because he watches everything and he gets mad about everything.
Yep.
The more you have those people on, it's like now when people go look up your show, well, first of all, they don't see anything for MLC because he takes everything down immediately. But all the clips are like, from the Clippers, are just these contentious, really inside baseball moments of podcast fights in this tiny circle of, by the way, they all think this is like the internet, this corner of podcasting.
No! There's guys like Chad Zumock, when he sees that there's 1,200 people watching, he's like, "This is the biggest show on the internet."
Right.
And then I go to my YouTube homepage, I see Jimmy Dore has 50,000 people watching him right now. I'm like, "No, Chad, you don't understand that this is a very much third tier of live streamers that we're watching."
By the way, that's just on YouTube. He's got another 20,000 on Rockfin and all these other platforms that he streams on. And yeah, so I lost the train of thread there.
Yeah, it happens. You've been broadcasting a long time. I appreciate you coming out here.
Goofy, and
I totally understand.
I have another show in 12 hours.
Okay, let me get through this because at this point here, Kevin's saying you need to stay out for 2 more weeks because there's this meet and greet in Atlantic City that's coming up, and he wants to make sure that because you're going to be there, you already have everything booked and ready to go, right?
Easily refundable with 1 click. I use
okay, fair enough.
I use miles for that very purpose.
He wants you to be there, and he thinks you need to be on the show the next couple of Mondays, or at least 1 more Monday before that.
I think
why? Let me go!
All right, one more week.
No!
You gotta
go.
You gotta go to August 19th, then you're free. Yeah. You only got 1 more show after this. This week and next week, then you're free to go. I just want to go to August 19th because I don't want people to go, where's Melton today? After August 19th, I probably want to
be in August. I'm not even mad at you. I don't want to fight or anything. I don't want to be on the show. The show is just you.
I don't want to be on the show either.
It's just losers.
Kevin literally comes out and says he doesn't want to do this show.
I don't even want to do my stupid show anymore.
Yeah, neither do I. This is it.
I just do it
Get it all in today, everybody. I'm telling you, get it in today.
I just do it out of habit. I'm like, it's 4:00. My kid's like, Dad, you doing a show today? I'm like, I guess. That's what I do.
You'll hear about it.
Well, you know, the super chats are starting to dry up a little bit. If this thing dries up, he's not going to continue to do the show, because that was the reason why they went from whatever it was, 3 or 4 days a week, to every single day of the week, sometimes twice a day.
Right. Yeah, and it muddies the water. Like it's just background noise when you do 6 days a week. Take it from a guy who's a gay. Take it from a gay who's doing 4 days a week.
Clip that one, Carl.
Yeah. Oh, we got you with that one, Melton. The truth wants to come out.
Yep. I'm also fat. I'm here to confirm that I'm fat.
You know what? We should write a song about that.
Yeah.
What could it be called?
Well, we'll workshop it
Better not
afterwards.
rhyme.
All right. So this is where you leave the show, and this is where we now bring our guest on, Tracy. You have to explain to me who Tracy is, because I'm still confused about that. But you watched that Mike Kelta video, and Mike Kelta, I think we're going to get into it on WATP this weekend coming up, but basically there was video footage of Mike Kelta hitting a woman. He grabbed her cell phone. She tried to get her phone back, and then he shoved her. I know, it's pretty hilarious. And then he shoved this woman, and it's everyone has their hot take on it. Kevin's hot take is the coldest of all the hot takes. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about here. And neither does Patrick.
What kind of phone was that?
No, Melton. Like, if you're a baseball player and a kid asks for your autograph and he's being rude, the kid's not going to be held liable for anything. You're the baseball player. You're used to this. You're supposed to be a professional. You're a public figure.
Oh, I didn't hear her ask for his autograph. I didn't hear her ask for his autograph.
You're not supposed to be like, that kid was mean to me. He told me I'm only hitting.
I didn't hear her ask for the autograph.
What's going on here?
He's a public figure. He's.
I didn't know. It's a totally.
Water finds
Kevin just argues fucking nonsense. Kevin goes off on arguments no one's even. Let's not what anyone's talking about. You old fuck.
That's the end of Patrick Melton right there. But it was a brilliant take. You're like, I don't even know what you're arguing. He doesn't even know what he's arguing about. It's like a baseball player autograph kid. It's like, what?
It's the
Look at him. He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing he did to you with changing the subject to whoever that Elisa Jordana girl is. It's just like, what fastball move was that, you 3-card Monty expert?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
So now when anyone's talking about here, the guy pushed a woman on camera. He's probably going to lose his job. Did he lose his job yet, Mike Kelta?
I don't know, but my whole thing with all that kind of stuff is like, it's just more nuanced than like, no, he's in the wrong. It's like, no, she was there antagonizing. It's one of those play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Calta should have known from experience not to react that way. It was insane to grab her phone, go through her phone, delete things. He did shove her face at one point. It's like, that was all bad. But she can also be a stupid idiot who was in his face harassing him.
She might have deserved it to some degree.
And you don't, it's not an excuse to also start touching him and putting hands on him and clawing at him. Yeah, he took your phone, but like.
Well, in her defense, she did ask for it back nicely first before actually trying to grab it out of his hands.
My point to Kevin was, she's not going to get anything back from him he doesn't want her to get back. So there's no point in like physically trying to wrestle Mike Kelta for a phone. You're a little woman. That was my point. So when you start clawing at a dude and putting hands on him and going over and that kind of stuff, of course he's going to like. So now it's, I don't know. It was just on at that point. It was so stupid.
It was a really dumb argument.
I was trying to say they were both dumb. That's all I was trying to say. Yeah. And Kevin was just trying to be like, no, but she was an idiot too. That's all I was trying to say.
I still don't know what Kevin was trying to say. He used that baseball analogy after you left too. He was trying to explain it. I'm like, this still does not make any fucking sense. Yeah. He's like, well, who are they going to side with? They're going to side with the kid who's trying to get the autograph. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he kept saying something about what the judge is going to say. And it's like, the judge? What case are we adjudicating? and like, yeah, of course.
Sammy Sosa didn't sign my ball.
I even agree with him about the outcome. Like, yeah, of course, Kelta's probably going to lose his job for this. He screwed up.
Yeah. In the case of Billy versus Sammy Sosa. I have one more clip for you. This is after you left, and someone suggested that Tracy come on WATP. At this point, Kevin Brennan is not even paying attention to his own show. He is completely distracted at all of this.
He's horny.
Val, $4.99. Tracy should guest host on WATP. What do you think?
What's WATP?
What's Tracy?
You see, Kevin's going to be happy you
Took
said
to play
that.
this game.
I don't care. I don't care about it. I just want shit to work. Now I just want the fucking stream to work.
Okay,
It
I
is.
guess I'll keep talking while then you're fucking around.
So the
Yeah, they literally are just staring at Kevin, who's not looking at the show at all. They're like, okay, I guess we'll go then. My turn.
Who is this hilarious woman?
Actress, comedian, bartender, Tracy Jane.
I'm laughing already.
Not necessarily in that order, from what I understand.
Who was the guest on? Was it yesterday? There was this woman who was at the roast.
Oh, the older lady.
Yeah, who's Patty? What is it? What's that? Is that a...
Patty.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the guests aren't what they used to be. The chemistry's not quite there, but who knows? Maybe they're in a transition right now. They're trying to figure out, what does MLC look like if we don't talk about Chad and Ray DeVito all day long? What could it be? So we're trying topics. They're showing clips. That was impressive. They're actually pulling up video clips and showing it. I was like, well, okay. It's like a show all of a sudden. What's going on?
I want him to become a clip show. I think Kevin Brennan clip show would be great, but he's railed on it so much, it'll be another hypocrisy police.
Well, that'd be great if he just watched clips and his reaction is just him with his jaw down to the floor. And I always love that reaction, just like, oh.
Yeah.
His new catchphrase is, I might quit my own show. That's a new resounding catchphrase every show.
Pretty good stuff.
I don't even want to do this.
But I do like that they are all mesmerized by this 50-year-old woman who put in effort. That's what you're looking at. She just tried a little. She has her hair done.
Impressive.
She has some makeup on. She's not dressed in complete trash and smoking.
She put on a
Newport.
dress for it. Yeah, she knew she was going to be on a show in front of people. It's smart.
She was 50.
Yeah, and they're all just like,
I'd take a beach.
Wolf of Wall Street. Apparently, she gives Leonardo DiCaprio a lap dance.
Oh, no shit.
I bet he vomited immediately afterwards.
Yeah, it's a little too old for him.
Yeah,
Even how many years ago that was.
My joke was, it's like having two 23-year-olds in your lap.
Because he's 46, Chris. It's a math joke. I'll explain it to you later.
Who are these podcasts?